Guys, welcome to Lipstick and Logic. We're here today and we're glad you're here joining us. So, today's topic, we're going to be talking about mental health and Black women in the superhero complex that we have.
But
Um,
I titled this "I'm tired of being a superwoman."
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
But I made the caption for this one. I'm tired of being a superwoman.
Oh, I like that. I'm tired of being
Right.
superwoman.
You feel
Very
that?
true. So, like, we were thinking about this topic earlier today, and we're trying to figure out because, we've been wanting to discuss mental health and just what avenue, because there's so many different aspects to mental health. There's anxiety, depression, mental health disorders, all kinds of things. And we kind of fell on this topic today. How do you guys think that this superhero complex affects you in your daily lives? We'll start with Jessica.
Of course. Put me on the spot. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like there's so much that's expected of me, but I don't realize it because I'm used to doing a lot of it. And I think I can still stem it back to my dad. So I feel like I had a drive instilled in me as a child to do well. And then as an adult, the pressure just built. And so from there, it's kind of just like I continue to push myself to do whatever. But I also realize that I don't always have to do everything. So I'm thinking, I feel like it's also another driving force being single because it's like, okay, I don't have that extra person to quote unquote lean on or depend on for just not even big things, just little things, little everyday things. So when it comes to doing things on a daily, and even if I am with my male friends, I'm used to just even getting the door for myself. It's sometimes it's weird for me when they do that because I'm just used to it. And whether or not that's a good or bad thing, or not even good, if that's weird or not for me to feel that way, should I be expecting that from a guy or not? I feel like I'd be interested to hear what other people think.
Hmm.
I'm people, and I want to respond to that. But before I do, I also want to ask you a question. Because you said you feel like your dad instilled some of these things in you, right? So
Mm-hmm.
since your dad is an Asian man, do you think
Mhm.
that's coming from the perspective, like he did that because you are a I'm gonna say black women simply because people do see biracial as being black. Unfortunately, and I agree with that. But do you think he did that for that reason, or do you think that's just something he would have done regardless?
That's just something he would have done regardless. Um, my dad's never been one to point me into one direction or the other as far as races go. I will say my mom has put her input though, but her reasoning was more so for the fact that I would be able to take care of myself no matter what. Even if I were to get married and something happened and I had to get a divorce or, anything, she said, I
Right.
can still take care of myself.
Right.
So for her, it was more of that aspect.
Okay. So for me, I would disagree with that from my upbringing, right? Because I think that the way that I was raised and is you guys hear me a little bit better now?
Yeah, I'm just going to turn my volume up. That's probably what it is. Sorry.
For me, the way that I was raised in a household where it was expected that men did certain things, especially with having a little brother. And my mom would say, "Don't go, let Kareem open the door for you." And we would literally stand there until Kareem walked up and opened the door for us. And I know not everybody agrees with that, but I do think that the strength for me is different from the strength that you're discussing. And viewers, if you're watching, feel free to go ahead and comment and let us know what you think being strong as a black woman is. Because in my mind, it's not being able to kind of be in your emotions if they don't fit the mold of being strong.
Mhm.
Not being able to be open to cry or kind of sucking it up and saying, you know what, I'm not going to kind of dwell in this sadness that I'm feeling because I keep pushing. I gotta be strong. So that's what I see strength as. And Isha, you look like you don't see strength as that.
No, I don't look like I'm in a defense. I was just thinking about it because I know that like throughout history and in media, Black women are very emotive. So you'll see them yelling, angry, mad, or being powerful, and it'll come from an emotion of being hurt, vulnerable, scared, and just all of those. I guess how would I spin those emotions? Weaker emotions. And I don't think oftentimes there's room or time or space or money for Black women to be in those weak moments. And everybody, we're all, what, do you agree? Or
no, I'm trying to see what you mean by money.
Money, because like oftentimes, let's say, I know I'm a single mother, right? I don't always have time to be upset about my situation. I don't, and time is money. I don't have time to like be depressed. And it's okay to be depressed. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be hurt. But sometimes I don't feel like that sort of leeway or that vulnerability or that love is available to Black women. And oftentimes we're always trying to be the mom, the dad, the mechanic, the barber, the cook, all of those sort of things. And it's a lot. And I think that society actually requires that of Black women, particularly. We're never allowed let me not say never, but hardly is it that we're ever allowed to be the damsel in distress or to be that gentle woman that needs care and to be doted and just to be kind of like treated like a princess. I don't think I see that very often. Of course, even, which is strange though, I grew up in a household where my dad is here, and he taught me to be independent, but he also taught me what love was, or what the care for a woman was, because my dad is never like, my mom's a stay-at-home mom, she's never had to work a day in her life with my dad. So I don't know, it's just, but I think if I had that sort of aspect in the home, but society never really afforded it to me, or I just wasn't able to see it. You don't agree with me, I see, but I don't think I see that. Huh?
Like killing me inside how much I don't agree with you.
That's fine, and we don't have to agree.
No,
but
no. Maybe because I just feel the complete opposite of what you're saying. Everyone that knows me knows that I am the stereotypical damsel in distress.
Well, yeah, you are, yes. But do you know me and Jessica to be that way?
I know. I don't know.
It's
like me saying, this isn't like an attack because I'm the same way. I feel like Jessica always has people to fall back on in a good way.
I'm not saying that we don't have people to fall back on. I think the three of us have excellent support systems.
Right.
But I think individually as Black women, and we all have different walks of life, I do see that Jessica and I, and not to single you out, I think Jessica and I somehow act more on the do it yourself, independent. I have to do. Of course, we all do experience stress, right? We all experience stress, but I think that it sort of manifests differently in each of us. And I know for myself, it manifests in a way where I always have to go. Within a span of a year, I ended a serious relationship. I was pregnant. I had to finish grad school. I did job interviews. I gave birth to my son, finished my dissertation, interviewed for jobs, went and got a job. That's not normal. That's not healthy. Like, somebody needs time to sit and take a break and rest. Like that typically people like, stop. Don't do that. Let me handle this. And of course I had my family here, but that's a lot.
And I still do.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Because I see what Aisha is saying, but I also partially disagree. And the reason I disagree with it is because we make the choice to be that way. Shireen, like she said, from childhood, her mother instilled in her, even using her brother as the example, men do this for you, you allow them to do this. And so for Shireen, she allows herself to have that open time for her to rely on somebody else or the male role for certain things. Whereas I feel like, and I'm not saying that I couldn't do that, but it's a choice that I chose to do this for myself and not think about it that way. And that could also be because of my upbringing. I wasn't raised to say, oh, let my brother open the door for me. Now, do I think he should? Yes, I do. But I'm not going to sit there and stand and wait for him to do it. I'm going to do it myself. And that's just my choice. So I feel like it's a combination of upbringing and choices. So if you wanted to, I feel like you could have allowed, and even me, I'm talking about myself, I could allow for certain things to be done a certain way. But because my mentality is this way, that's why my situations are the way they are, per se. So not to say that it doesn't happen and that what you're saying is not out of the norm, because that is a lot for one person to do. But I'm just saying, take into consideration, maybe it happens that way because we allow it to, not because we're forced.
I understand. I'm not saying that we're forced. I'm not saying that at all. I just don't think that society, or even the way that we look at ourselves as Black women, but you guys may not agree with me, allows us the chance to feel vulnerable or to actually take that downtime. I feel like even with being a woman, there's a lot to do. With being a Black woman, there's even more to do. And it can even go back into our past topics about Black tax, or even financial literacy, and how Black people are always disadvantaged. Even now with women, I think, or as women, Black women particularly, we have a lot of hats that we have to wear.
Right.
And the topic is Black women having superhero syndrome. So do you guys not feel, is it not true that you feel like you have to be good at everything you do and you always have to give more of yourself in your daily life?
I will say this. I'm sorry. Good. Okay. I will say this. I feel like I have a different perspective because I feel like I'm treated a certain way because I'm biracial. And I'm also not saying that's correct, but it also plays a role into my experiences because a lot of the people that I've dated have seen me as the other race, or they take that into account. So I'm not seen as the angry Black girl, which most Black women have that stigma against them, which is ridiculous because they're angry Spanish women, they're angry Asian women, they're likely to kill you. Like, so I'm not saying any of that is correct, but I am saying that has played a role in the way that I view certain things because I wasn't treated that way. But I do see it, and I've heard men say stuff like that. And I feel like that does play a role in why Black women have to wear all of these hats.
I want to stop. One of our viewers wrote, a strong Black woman, this is Shalicia Aris. She wrote, a strong Black woman to me is a woman who has gone through a lot, and instead of being sad of their past, they allow it to make them strong, rise above the hurt. And then I guess we were talking about how Black women don't really have, or I was saying that I don't feel like Black women are afforded the time to be vulnerable. She goes, everyone needs me time. And I agree with that 100%. Thank you for commenting. If you have any more comments or likes, anything, just leave them there and we'll read them and we'll discuss them as well.
But you know, I like what she said. And before I kind of get into that, I think it ties into the point that we have different ideas of what a strong Black, the stereotype is, right? Because when Jessica was saying that from the perspective of dating, I was thinking about it from the perspective of work, even. And just how I think people kind of see you as, in a positive way in their minds. Oh, she's got her stuff together, she's strong, she can handle X, Y, Z, right? And I think that's kind of how we're approached from an academic perspective, because I believe that Black women are like the most educated group in the country. Like we are intelligent, we work hard for what we have, right? So when we started this, and as I'm speaking of it, I'm thinking of it from a personal experience. And again, I come from a middle class family where I'm not dealing with a lot of hardships that other people are dealing with, or even you, Isha, because again, you're a single mom. That's a completely different ball game. So I do have that leverage to kind of lean on people for certain things. And at the same time, like, I know when I need to handle my own stuff too. However, I'm open to leaning on my parents for certain things that I don't feel like I should have to handle myself if I don't need to. And that's a mindset that I've taken a little bit more recently too, as far as assistance. Now, coming from another perspective with what our viewer said with her definition of a strong Black woman, I kind of like redefining that
Mm-hmm.
because that leaves you with that vulnerability and the ability to kind of have emotion and still be strong. Because why does strength have to be always looking a certain way? Sometimes strength is crying. Sometimes strength is
Yeah.
expressing your emotion.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I agree with you. I want to say though, even as a single Black woman or single mother, I have like an excellent support system that I don't think a lot of people can afford or have. My family, like they help me so much, and it's invaluable their help. But and I'm really thankful for them because even though said all that stuff that I did within a span of a year, I was able to like have time, spend time with myself, to move through my situation and to even just have maternity leave and just relax into entering motherhood. So that was really awesome. But even then, with the time I had, I wasn't able for me and that's my fault, I guess. I wasn't able to sit and like rest in that. I felt like I always had to go. I always had to do this. I need to make money. I need to provide. I need to do this. I need to do that. So that was the sort of mindset I had. And oftentimes I don't feel like there's time for Black women. We're Black people. There's not space or room for us to be mediocre or for us to be weak or for us to just let things be. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm going with that. And I don't know if is there space for us to do that? Can we relax in what we're doing? You know what I'm saying? But I don't think so. I really don't think that that's afforded to us.
Like, as you're talking, do you think that's because we've been saying that this is a stigma that society puts on us? And I'm not disagreeing with that fully, but do you think that we internalize it so much that we're placing it on ourselves more than society's putting it on us? So we're kind of living up to this thing that people think we should be living up to, but because we keep meeting that criteria, it's making it worse.
I don't know. I guess so. But at the same time, I think you, Jessica, and myself, we come from very similar backgrounds, even though we have different walks of life. We come from like middle class families and really good support systems. We're all educated. So I think maybe for us it's not that serious, but maybe for somebody who's not as fortunate as it could be that serious. Or even I think it is that serious. I honestly do. And and sometimes I know I'm still getting my finances. It can be the difference of one paycheck and you're now not you're not in that cushy middle class American family. And it's just I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. So I think it exists and it's not something that I'm making up. It's real. It's very real in my mind I see it as a possibility and I don't want to go there. I don't want to be that person.
I feel like that's for Black men too, not just
Right.
women.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's a good segue to some facts that I found before we started. So, Blacks are 20% more likely to report psychological distress than whites,
Mm-hmm.
which we don't know about. Right.
Interesting.
I know. And that actually definitely surprised me because of the stigma that we have, again, within our community and the resistance to getting help.
Yes, professional help. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Do you know what year that was from? And I just asked when?
I believe that was 2014.
Okay. I just asked because I wonder if it was around the time that it started becoming a big thing and people speaking out about, going to get it.
That's true.
In earlier years, it might be different.
That's a good point. That'd be a good thing to look up. So the American Psychological Association actually has expressed some concerns because less than 2% of those members are actually Black or African American. And they're concerned that mental health practitioners aren't necessarily reflecting the patients. So as a Black woman, my preference would be to go to, honestly, another Black woman. Thanks. They love our lip colors. Thank you. my preference would be to go to someone that looks like me, because I do think that someone that looks like me is going to be able to relate to me a lot more than someone that doesn't look like me. But do you know how difficult it is to find the level of professional that looks like you?
Yeah, it's difficult.
Like, I'm literally asking the question, do you know?
Oh, I mean, I do know that if anybody's having issues finding a therapist, you can go to Open Path Collective, and they have like a whole little lineup of professional mental health professionals that you can
Right.
go to, and you can kind of sift through Black women, white men, Black men. Actually, I don't really see very many Black men mental health professionals, so that's something that needs to be represented. But because I've gone on the site to look, but I don't, just looked around. Anyways, I think everybody should go to therapy. It's a really great thing, a great tool for some self-improvement. And it's invaluable to your mental health. Like, it's just the same way you take care of your body, you need to take care of your mind and your well-being. Take time for yourself. Don't let your life overwhelm you. You can't be present in life if you're not actually present and healthy in your mind and body. So those are just my little tidbits.
I feel like I just confused myself with us having this discussion, because there are some things I didn't know I felt until you started talking, and I disagreed with them. At the same time, I know that I'm personally someone that, y'all know this about me. Anybody that knows me knows I have so much anxiety, it's ridiculous.
Right. So then where does that come from? Like, what is, and I'm like, what is the root of that? Because to me, I automatically assume it could be, because honestly speaking, when I talk to you, it sounds like no matter how good you do, you feel like you should always do better, and you never feel satisfied.
Right.
So
Right.
I am right agreeing with that. If
You're
not right next to her. As far as like having anxiety about things or overthinking or just being in my head and not just living and enjoying the moment. It's always something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not rooted in being a Black woman. It could just be something that us in our Black community, we don't necessarily ask for help, because I know some people who, they talk about their anti-anxiety medication or they're on antidepressants. And it's just really like it's casual conversation. But I never would have thought to be like, oh, my anxiety it's not healthy, or is this depression a little too long? Is
anxiety
too much?
Viewers, what do you guys think? Because I feel like it's normal life.
I do, but some people don't.
It's maybe stress. I feel like it's stress. Everybody has some kind of stressor in their life. Right. And I believe it produces hormones that cause, what is it? That can help kill you, basically.
Cortisol.
It's cortisol. Okay. Cortisol. So I didn't want to say it because I like to know.
Well, it's cortisol, I can tell you.
Okay, awesome. So I feel like, yeah, it's bad.
I mean, that's the thing. So here's what I'm saying. If us right now, we can be like, well, it's just a little stress. It's normal. What if it's not? Like, what if it's not normal?
I don't like it's normal. I don't feel like it's okay. I feel like everybody has it, but the way you deal with it is what can make it normal. Like how you balance out your life. There are things in life that are going to stress you. There are stressful situations, but how are you dealing with them? And so that brings in, do you need to talk to someone professionally? If that's a yes, then you need to do that for your health.
That's true.
So,
well, we're about finished with this topic. We're actually out of time.
Yeah.
It's a really good topic, and we'll probably go on. If you guys are interested, we can do a part 2, or we can kind of split it in and, split it up into other parts, because mental health is something that is so expansive. Like, we can't even scratch the surface of it, but we're really happy to talk about it today. So now that the logic part is over, let's get into the fun part. I hope you guys had fun this whole time, though. And let's talk about our lipsticks. So I think we'll start with Shireen this time.
Okay, I am wearing one of my favorite brands, Griselda.
Ooh, I have that one.
I know, you wore last week.
Okay, I did.
And I'm wearing it this week. Thanks, Robin.
It looks good on you.
Thank you.
And I think I'm in the middle, so I'll just go with mine. I am wearing Rust by MAC, and Truffle, the Fenty Matchstick as a liner. And a little bit of chapstick because my lips were dry. It's really, really
Nice combo.
cute.
Okay, I have on MAC, and it's Diva.
I'm
gonna start mixing like you, Isha, one day.
That's all I do is mix lipstick. I love doing it.
Diva looks so different on me than it looks on you. Wow. Sorry, it's just a moment.
Is Diva that pink color? Like it's a pink purple?
No, it's dark. Let me see if I can show it.
I think I've worn that one and I love it.
Enough on. Put on another layer. I don't know. It looks pink to me.
Another. I always thought it was like a pink.
First strain.
Oh,
is that better?
We got it in here twice. Siobhan's talking about her MBA. Oh, y'all better do it. Okay, I'm done. It's the last time I'm doing this.
Oh my god.
It's so fun to say.
We'll start the next show.
Okay, you guys. We're going to end today's episode. Thank you for joining us, and leave comments. Watch what we, if you came in late, watch the whole broadcast and tell us what you think about Black women in the superhero complex and how you feel about.
We have Diva Lover.
Say what? Oh, Diva Lover.
Diva Lover.
Yeah, but just let us know what you think about this topic today and what you think about our lipsticks. And also, if you have any lipstick suggestions, let us know and we'll try them on. You can even say who you want to wear what, and we'll try our best. And it'll give me an excuse to go to Sephora, and I love going there. Anyways, thanks you guys for joining us.
Bye, guys.